Only one race remains of the Budweiser Indiana Governor's Cup Regatta. That is the final. 5 boats have qualified for this all-important race. The favorite has got to be the Miss 711 boat owned by Steve Woomer, driven by Steve Reynolds, the only turbine boat to make the final. The clock ticking away, Brock Yates. Everybody trying to anticipate that start.
And it looks as if Scott Pierce has jumped out, but there goes Steve Reynolds in the turbine boat trying to come down. And yeah, a perfect start. Steve Reynolds in the middle there in the turbine, and on the outside, that's Jim Kropfeld and Miss Budweiser. Look at him fly. Ooh, almost got it. A blow over. That boat got way, way up on its hull as they hook down into turn number 1. It's Pierce, Reynolds, and Kropfeld out front, with Andy Coker and Jerry Hobb fighting it out for the 4th spot.
Look at this. Steve Reynolds on the inside in the turbine boat. On the outside, the piston engine Miss Budweiser. Now, Reynolds seems to have this race in hand, Brock. The boat is handling beautifully. Crew chief Jerry Verhill has done all the right setup. Look at it. It's almost perfect.
Textbook piece of race driving there by Steve Reynolds. You got a quick peek at Chip Hanauer in the Miller American boat. He, of course, is dead in the water, got in there, hoping that somebody wouldn't start. No way now. The race is on, and Hanauer's out for the day.
And here comes a challenge from the Miss Budweiser boat. All over the river is Jim Kropfeld, giving it everything he's got, all the nitrous possible, but still he's having trouble keeping up with the turbine-powered boat on the inside, Steve Reynolds.
Well, right now, Jim Kropfeld's sure thinking, boy, I wish that turbine of mine hadn't blown up in that test run in Seattle. But he's given it everything. Look at this. As they go down into turn number 1, it's Kropfeld just tucked right in against the outside hull of Steve Reynolds. Reynolds go right in against the pins. This is a very, very tight race, and both these guys are using the inside line, Steve.
This is the tightest we have seen Kropfeld take the Bud boat around those buoys. Reynolds has done it in every heat because the boat is so much lighter. Kropfeld is really going for it.
Kropfeld's boat, one of the heaviest on the circuit with that big Rolls-Royce Griffin engine. Really a bulky piece. Scott Pierce now riding in 3rd place. Doesn't look like he's running quite as quickly as he did before. But you know what? Don't forget, Steve, we got a damaged boat out there. Reynolds' boat, as you pointed out, has that sponson with a hole in it, but it doesn't look as if it's hurting things right now. But who's to know? Fatigue could enter into this problem, and he could break something before it's over with.
Well, Scott Pierce just settled back there in 3rd. He'll take those points rather than abuse that boat trying to chase down the front runners. Look at that beautiful turbine boat, Miss 711. Fantastic piece of machinery.
Well, he's broken loose from everybody right now. That, of course, is Kropfeld coming down in the 2nd spot, but he's fallen way, way back right now. It looked like he probably tried Reynolds to see if he could stay with him, decided that he couldn't, and maybe he's just backed out of it a little bit to finish. But Reynolds right now, a runaway leader.
And Steve having to contend with a bit of rough water right now, Brock. The chop is from the boats themselves as they thunder around this 2.5-mile circuit. This is the last lap.
Steve Reynolds, the race in hand without any question, all alone out in front, down the back straightaway. A beautiful shot from our helicopter. He has only about another 1.5 miles to go before victory is his. Underneath the bridge in the Ohio River, down into turn number 3, hooks that big boat around those pins, and right in front of him, the finishing straight. Also in front of him, Jerry Hobb, who's about to lap for 5th place.
This would be the first win for this team in this particular season. Last year with another sponsor, they won a race they called the World Championship down in Texas. But for the Miss 711 boat, this would be the first victory of the year, and a sweet one it'll be for boat owner Steve Woomer. Getting around Jerry Hobb, putting him a lap down. The checkered flag is out. There's Woomer in the blue shirt, fist in the air to Hollywood handsome Steve Reynolds, who wins the Budweiser Indiana Governor's Cup race.
And don't forget, he did it with a boat that had a little bit of damage to its hull, so a great show. Here's a surprise. Kropfeld, riding in 2nd place, brings Miss Budweiser to a halt coming off of turn 4. Steve, he's got some problems. I don't think he's going to finish.
It doesn't look like it, and you know what that means. 2nd place and more points will go to the Executone boat, and Scott Pierce, you can hear Scott coming out of turn number 4, and that will be a sight for sore eyes, seeing the Bud boat stranded out on the course.
Oh, it sure will. So maybe it wasn't Kropfeld backing off as much as it was engine problems that finally mounted to a point where the boat just wouldn't go any farther. So here comes Scott Pierce leading the points race, as you said, show by Scott Pierce. Yes, checkered is out. A second place for the young man from Seattle, Washington.
Well, let's see who's going to take third. On the inside, the conventional boat called Miss Madison. Andy Coker at the wheel. On the outside, here comes oh boy, Oberto, Jerry Hopp. Hopp is picking him up. Hopp is catching him coming out of turn 4, headed for the finish line.
Going to be a good race, but Hopp slides way wide coming around that final corner. It looks like Andy Coker got himself a couple of boat lengths. He's going to need every bit of it because right now, Hopp's boat looks like he's going to be a little bit faster down that final finishing straight. This is going to be a race to the finish. Hopp gets him. Last lap, last corner, he takes Andy Coker. A little shot of nitrous there, do you think, Steve, to help him down the final straight?
I think he pushed all 4 buttons on that steering wheel, Brock, and just drained that nitrous system. Jerry Hopp picks up 3rd place in a fine payday for the Miss Oh Boy Oberto boat.
Good show by Jerry, who also wrenches the boat when he's not in the cockpit racing, as Steve Reynolds waves at the fans lining the shores here and heads down, backs out of the throttle on that big turbine and heads into the pit area to meet a very happy crew. I'll guarantee you that.
Listen to the roar coming from that dock block for Steve Reynolds as he climbs out of the boat while it's still scooting through the water. He can't wait to give a hug to his crew chief, Jerry Burhill, and of course the boat owner, Steve Woomer. Costs an awful lot of money to run one of these craft.
It sure does. Those turbine motors are very, very expensive, but they paid off for everybody today. Excellent drive by Steve Reynolds. First, he had to fight it out with Chip Hanauer. Then he had to go up against Jim Kropfeld, and in both cases came out the victor.
And even Bernie Little, the owner of the Budweiser boat, impressed with Steve Reynolds' performance today, gives him a well-deserved pat on the old life preserver. We'll be back to talk to the top finishers here in Madison, Indiana, right after this.
It's all over on the Ohio River, but before we talk to the winners, let's throw a couple of bouquets to the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary and their boat, the Zachary Taylor. That was the source of those beautiful low-level, high-speed shots down the back straightaway here, and we thank those guys for letting us use their boat today. Steve Reynolds, Scott Pierce, overall winners here. Jerry Hopp, Andy Coker, Jim Crockfell rounds it out. Let's go to the winner.
Steve Reynolds, his first victory of the season, second for the Steve Woomer-owned crew out of Kent, Washington. Congratulations. A beautiful drive, Steve.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Where's the rest of this crew?
Yeah. They're over here behind us. Steve, tell us about the first couple of laps. Kropfeld appeared to at least be in the hunt then.
Oh, let me tell you, Jim Kropfeld and the Budweiser ran as strong as anybody can run on this race course today. I think maybe we had a little advantage in the turbine engine coming off the corners, and that may have been the difference. But Budweiser, they're tough competitors. They never, ever give up. Same with Executone. I could feel them both breathing down my neck the whole way. I kept screaming on the radio to Jerry Verhill, tell me, please tell me where they are.
Might have been going a little faster than you should have in that water.
Well, every time we go out, Steve, we go to run as hard as we can possibly run. And I think today was an example of just exactly what a great field of unlimiteds we bring down here to Madison, Indiana. If it was as much fun for the rest of these people to watch as it was for us out there to participating, it was a great race and a great day.
I assure you, they had as much fun. And a beautiful day. Steve Woomer, boat owner, congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Steve. It's always fun, right?
Okay, to Jerry Verhill, the crew chief, our best. Gentlemen, celebrate. All right, let's go down to the dock and Brock Yates with the second place finisher.
Scott, congratulations.
Well, thank you, Brock.
You were working hard. It looked as if Crossfell really had it on you, but you were running real steady. Were you hoping that maybe something would break up ahead?
Well, that's all I could hope for. I had the inside at the start, and I was going like a bandit, and they left me going to the corner, and you know, that's just all the faster my boat would go, and
sure.
And I had the position on the race course and everything just the way I wanted, but it just didn't work out for us.
Well, they say there's no substitute for cubic inches, and that was the game you were playing today, but you did a super job.
Well, thank you. The Executone guys work real hard, and we're very, very pleased. Our boats finished all 3 heats, and we're to be thankful for that. Puts us way ahead in the World Championship points, and that's our little victory for today, you know.
It sure is. Well, you did a super job, and our congratulations.
Thank you, Brock.
Thank you.
Well, let's hope the Bud crew has kept a cold brew for this man, Jim Kropfeld. He's not celebrating at all. Could not finish the final heat in that famous boat. Let's take one more look at how they did finish and the points they earned. Of course, Steve Reynolds on top and missed 7-11. Scott Pierce earns another 1,000 points towards what could be a national championship. A great show by all the Unlimiteds, and a special thanks to all the fine folks of Madison, Indiana, for making this an enjoyable experience for us and our crew. For Ed Bruce and Brock Yates, I'm Steve Evans saying so long from the banks of the Ohio River.
The executive producer for American Sports Cavalcade is Harvey M. Pally. Produced and directed by John B. Mullen. Promotional consideration provided for and a fee paid by the Style Auto World Championship Team, the nation's premier source of fast lane fashion. Style Auto, the champion's choice for the style of your life. The American Sports Cavalcade is a presentation of Diamond P Sports.